This is part 2 of the video lectures on the history of the English language. Today's topic is French influence on English. French influence in the Middle English period, the Norman conquest of 1066 had a profound influence on the English language. For some centuries, English ceased to be the language of the governing classes, and no such thing as standard literary English existed. And when English did once again become the language of the whole country, it had changed a good deal under the influence of the conquerors. Even before the Norman conquest, social and ecclesiastical intercourse had begun among the ruling classes of England and Normandy. The Normans were of Scandinavian race, having come to France more than a century earlier and adopted Northern French as their language. They were of Germanic stock like the English, whom they were soon to conquer. Before the Norman conquest, we find in English a few French words such as castle, the new type of fortified building, replacing the OE word burg, capon, that is capon, and bacon, that is bacon. While the conquest, the Normans became masters of England, and they remained masters for a sufficiently long time. The conquerors were numerous and formed the rich, powerful, and refined classes in England, and this is confirmed by the French loan words. The French immigrants formed the upper echelons of the English society after the conquest, so many of the French loanwords are distinctly aristocratic. It is true that they left the old English words king and queen intact, but gave to English nearly all words relating to government and the highest administration. Witness, sovereign, crown, reign, realm, country, state, government and to govern, council, council, parliament, exchequer, chancellor, minister. The old English period soon came way to people and nation, both of French origin. Feudalism was imported from France, and with it there came such feudal terms as feudal itself, fief, vassal, liege, prince, peer, duke, duchess, marquis, viscount, baron, count, countess, though earl and lord and lady were restrained. Old English, court and the courtly adjectives courteous, fine, refined, and noble came from France, which sent us also honor and glory and heraldry. Military affairs in England were controlled and directed by the Norman upper class, from whom the English learnt a host of French military words, example war, were, peace, battle, assault, siege, arms, armor, banner, ensign, soldier, officer, lieutenant, sergeant, troops, dragoon, vessel, navy, admiral, etc. Some words which are now very extensively used outside the military sphere were at first taken over as military words such as challenge, enemy, danger, escape, SP, that is spy, aid, prison, hardy, gallant, march, force, company, god, etc. The Normans took into their hands the English law, which, with the result that most of the terms pertaining to the law are of French origin, such as justice, just, judge, jury, court, suit, sue, plaintiff, defendant, a plea, plead, to summon, cause, assize, session, attorney, fee, accuse, crime, felony, traitor, damage, dower, heritage, property, real estate, tenure, penalty, demesne, injury, privilege. Some of these words, example, cause, damage, heritage, injury, privilege, etc., are now hardly to be called technical, juridical words. They have now passed into the ordinary vocabulary of everyday life. There are others which are now used as ordinary, everyday words but were at first introduced as law terms. Example, case, marry, marriage, outs, prove, false, fault, hair, defend, etc. The French legal term prison had passed into everyday vocabulary as punning, and ecclesiastical matters were also chiefly under the control of the Norman higher classes. We find a great many French words connected with the church, such as religion, service, Trinity, Savior, Virgin, angel, saint, abbey, cloister, sacrifice, homily, altar, miracle, preach, pray, prayer, sermon, etc. Words like rule, lesson, save, tempt, blame, order, nature, which now belong to the common language, were at first purely ecclesiastical words. As the clergy are also teachers of morality as well as of religion, they introduced the whole gamut of words pertaining to moral ideas, from virtue to vice, duty, conscience, grace, charity, cruel, chaste, covet, desire, lechery, fool, jealous, pity, discipline, mercy, etc. There are words from other domains but highly significant of the relations between the Normans and the English, such as sir and madam, master and mistress, with their contrast, servant and the verb to serve, command and obey, order, rich and poor, with the nouns riches and poverty, money, interest, cash, rent, etc. The French masters knew how to enjoy and get the best things to themselves, which is illustrated by such words as joy and pleasure, delight, ease and comfort, flowers and fruits. They were given to pastimes that make life enjoyable. The chase was one of their favorite pastimes. There are many other French terms relating to the chase, such as brace, couple, leash, falcon, quarry, warren, scent, trap. The term sport, a shortened form of disport, is a French word. Cards and dice are French words, and so and so are many words connected with different games: partner, suit, trump. In the Middle Ages, the French led the fashion, as they still do. Apparel, costume, dress, garment, etc. are of French origin. They also taught the English such terms relating to art as art itself, image, design, color, ornament, beauty to paint. In architecture, the English owe to the French such words as arch, tower, pillar, vault, porch, column, choir, chapel, cloister, besides palace, castle, manor, mansion, etc. Even the craftsmen and artisans catered to the refined taste of the fashionable French have French names: tailor, butcher, mason, painter, carpenter, etc. These words relating to art, architecture, and fashions conclusively show that the French were the refined people. In fine, Jesperson's observation that the French were the rich, the powerful, and the refined classes contain the full grain of truth. Some important questions you can prepare students for this chapter. 1. The French were the rich, the powerful, and the refined classes. Cite appropriate linguistic evidence to substantiate the remark. Or, how far the study of French loanwords help us to reconstruct the social picture of England after the Norman Conquest. Or, write an essay on the nature and extent of the French influence in the English language. Or, discuss the extent and character of the French influence on the English language.